Delta Wine Division, the bite has been red hot. I mean, guys are weighing in 30 pounds consistent to win a tournament here on the Delta. But last 2 days, horrific wind. 20, then it went to 40-mile-an-hour winds. Muddied up the water, and today, bluebird, suntan, mosquitoes, unbelievable switch of weather patterns. But this team came out on top with 23 pounds, and I tell you what, they did a great job. Over $4,400 in cash. I got the team of
Jim Rosa
and Ed Ortman.
So I got Jim and Ed, and they did a great job of figuring this bite out. Here in the Delta, we have tides. It started out low, and these guys figured a way out. Most anglers I heard today talked about needing that high water tide. These guys did it on the low water. Explain your days, guys.
So we ran East Delta first thing in the morning. We were looking for the lowest water we could find, pretty much targeting spawning areas, and we're fishing super shallow, fishing in the weed pockets, behind the weeds. I was throwing a big swim bait all day. Ed was behind me flipping a Senko and a drop shot. I think one of the first fish we put in the boat was Ed's big one on a Senko 762. I stuck another good one on a swim bait, a 6.5 or so, and then we had 3 squeakers by about 8:30 in the morning.
So these fish, when you say you're in the weeds, from the distance from the bank out, how far distance was that? Was that typical Delta, or was this bank wanted a lot farther out?
So where we were was a really shallow flat. So my boat was probably 35 yards off the bank, and we were sitting in 2 to 3 feet of water, casting even shallower.
Wow. Now, you said earlier in front of a bunch of people that you were throwing this bait, the swim bait, and it was a bottom hook style swim bait, and it would get in weeds every other cast, or every cast is about?
Non-stop, stuck in the weeds at almost every cast.
But it did put a couple of the bigger fish in the boat.
It put one of the big ones in the boat, and we had an opportunity for another decent one, 4 or 5 pounder that came off, but they were there.
So now you followed up with the worms and stuff like that?
Yeah, pretty much the Senko and the drop shot. Worked pretty good. That was in the morning. Later on in the afternoon, we hadn't caught a fish probably for what, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah,
it was a long time, and we were kind of getting ready to pack it in, and Jim started throwing a jig, and we picked up 4 or 5 fish within the last 20 minutes. That kind of saved us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that, we would have had a right, but nothing like we had.
You know, when you're fishing something like what they're doing, and I hate to quote other anglers, but it's definitely a never give up concept, because the Delta has tides, and a fish as a light switch can turn on, and it's all about the tides here. And these guys did it better than most. Hey, I've got Ed, and I've got Jim, and they did it right. Here on the Delta, first place of the second leg of the Delta Wine Division.